My name is Barbara Ann Smith. I'm from Grand Junction, Colorado, and I'm the newly elected president of FREE. It's Freedom, Responsibility, Economic Enterprise, and we promote free enterprise in the school districts and private schools. My question has to do with guns. 2 weeks ago, I had my little Emily stolen from me. That's what I call her. And when I went to get it back after they found the culprit, and they had him incarcerated, they wouldn't give me my gun back right away because they needed it for evidence. So I wanted people to realize that we also have a government that can encroach on our Second Amendment rights and our Fifth Amendment rights. So that's what I stood tall. I had her back. And like the gentleman said that called me, man, you called everybody under the sun, including the DA's wife. So I got her that. But what can we do? It's just, I asked, well, what policy do you have that you can keep my gun? And I said, do you keep a whole room full of dead people in caskets because, you know, you need evidence? Because that was her excuse, evidence. You needed evidence. Well, I just, it's not acceptable. And I just am so pleased that I know about my rights and I can stand up for them. So, what can everybody do?
There's two answers to this. First of all, if the police want to confiscate your gun for evidence, they should give you a loaner.
Well, that's right.
Secondly, a much bigger issue is this. And every time I look at the Constitution, every time I see things that are happening in society, I think, oh, the Constitution maybe should have covered this or they didn't foresee that. I'm always astonished by the fact that they did. And one of the things that's most remarkable about this is simply this. When they were asked, I forget who the actual quote came from, but when he was asked about what will we do when people begin to violate our rights, when people begin to violate our constitutional rights, one of the founders, and one of you probably knows who it was, said, well, that's easy. Everybody in the country will know their Constitution. They'll have studied it and learned it by heart. And as soon as any politician begins to usurp those rights, those politicians will simply be voted out of office. That's why we talk about winning margins here and there and so on. We could flush the House of Representatives. In 2014, we could put 435 new pro-gun, pro-rights representatives into the House of Congress. In 2014, we could replace a third of the Senate. We have, what they were basically telling us was, this is your problem, prosperity and posterity. This is your problem. You will know your Constitution, and so you'll know when your rights are being violated. So this is why they don't teach the Constitution in high schools anymore. I used to take a class called Civics. I had a class in high school called Americanism versus Communism. First thing they asked was, from each according to his ability, to each according to his need. Doesn't that sound great? Everybody goes, yeah, that's the mantra of communism. But the people who have to defend our rights are us. No one's going to do it. Politicians aren't going to do it. None of these guys are going to do it. What I tried to do in that video is I tried to call these people out and say, you don't even get a chance to infringe upon the rights to keep and bear arms. Forget about prohibiting them. You don't even have the right to make it more difficult because of your oath to the Constitution. And you are in violation of your oath of office by trying to do it. Now, if you don't like that, your job is to uphold the Second Amendment rights that you swore to uphold, and then make a major effort to get the 28th Amendment, to get the Second Amendment banned. That I can understand. That's logical, reasonable, constitutional, and wrong, but it's at least how it should work. But they won't take that to the American people because they know there's not a chance in hell they'll ever get that done, so they use executive orders and all this other nonsense. And that's how it works. And it won't stop until people like us start calling them out and saying you're in violation of your oath of office, you should be tried for treason. Anybody else? I guess we got one more and then we're done.